Hello, what's up? My name is Wick Burma. Wicka, 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 wicka. Shut up. That's how I typically start things. And I am located in the fabulous Elk Grove, California region, close to Sacramento. And for the last 20 years, I've actually been in the IT business. I supplied IT hardware, software, telecom, and AV equipment. And just recently, I got involved with the beauty business for about the last year and a half. First of all, my business is called Beauty Biz Launch, Beauty Business. And I'm here to present my amazing invention called the Nogee, the Nogee. And what the Nogee does is it safely cleans clogged and congested nose pores, the nose pores, by removing some of the built up dirt, oil, the sebum, and the debris that gets stuck and clogged in there. And let me tell you something, consistent cleaning, the consistent cleaning of your nose pores without harsh chemicals and some of those damaging devices that we're going to be talking about is the key to smooth, sleek, and selfie. Where's my phone? A selfie ready nose. And that this is only attainable by using the Nogee, because the Nogee is the only tool that is safe and easy enough to use on a regular basis to keep those nose pores clean. I am seeking a whopping $100,000. That's all the fingers I got. If I had 100,000, you'd see them all. In exchange for 20%, the money is going to be used for one, a more robust website. For example, I lead a group of over 19,500 estheticians, and I want them to be affiliates. So a website that is allowed to get affiliates and make it easier instead of me having to manually do it would be fantastic. Also, the website for the sales, better presence, looking at spending some of the money on marketing outreach, whether it's some paid opportunities. What makes this thing any different than anything else? Well, let me tell you, if you look at this little tool in my hand, the Nogee, this is something I've invented after using some of the top selling, the numero uno nose pore cleaning gadgets that I could find on the internet. We're looking at Amazon and the normal places, right? But what they should have been categorized is not as the best selling, they should have been categorized as the best swelling, meaning it's got my nose swole, because using some of these tools that I'm going to share with you, it left my poor nose, not only stripped, dry, bruised, but even bloodied at times. And the Nogee is the only tool that is safe enough to use daily to clean clogged and congested pores. So if you got a nose, you need a Nogee. All right, so let's talk about patents. This did have a provisional patent that just recently expired in April. I am working on filing a utility patent, so that is in the work. Where are we in terms of the Nogee? As a business, it is an existing product, so I have it. I've gone through many versions of it. This is like version 14 or 15, and right now it's being tested by estheticians. So it's currently, I'm sending out to my group of estheticians. I want them to try it so that once these professionals who live, breathe, and do skincare for a living can endorse it, it's going to make it easier for me to sell it down the line.
The number one Nogee. Don't leave home without it.
The Nogee is like the R2D2 of pore cleaners. Kind of small, safe, simple, cute, gets the job done. R2, beep, 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 beep. I think that's how he would say it. And now let's look at some of the competition before the Nogee. What does the Nogee compete with? One, it competes with the famous or infamous like the pore strips. The name isn't even relaxing. Strip it out. So many people get excited by the nose strip because they see it's pulling out all that gunk. But you know what? Here, to give you a better analogy with that, imagine if you had a carrot in the ground and you grab it by the greens and you're pulling the carrot up and out, right? Yeah, the carrot's going to come up, but you can also destroy the dirt, the earth, the soil around it. And unfortunately, that's what these strips do. But it creates actually deeper pores because of how you're pulling the little blackheads and thingamabobs out. And that pulling is actually disturbing the safe cells, causing more problems, causing deeper pores. And guess what? Let me share with you something. Pore 101. The deeper the pore, the more gunk it'll store. Hello. So that's what this does. The Nogee is safe, it's simple, it's effective, and literally in just 2 minutes, as little as 2 minutes, and because it says so right here, you will have cleaner pores and smoother nose guaranteed. Super simple, super easy. All right. What's the next? How did you come up with the idea? Explain. I went on YouTube and they had a hack and they go, hey, use a floss pick. Here's a floss pick. They'll use this on your nose and the nose pores will instantly get cleaned. You know what? They might as well have given me a potato peeler. I put this against my nose and instantly I pull out a divot of my skin. And ever since then, I was like, there's got to be a better, easier way. But I like the smallness of the floss pick. I like the way it fit in my hand. I just didn't like this tip that was potato peeler-ish, right? So this is kind of like my inspiration of the Nogee. As you can see, it's about the same size, but I just wanted it to be safer to handle. I didn't need this pointy at the end, and I need something soft on the tip. So went after a couple designs. That's how I created the Nogee. It was just because I felt like I needed something, and I made it for me. Once my wife tried it and she loved it, I knew we had something. Thanks, wifey. All right. We just recently started selling this about a month ago. So this is currently May? We're in May. So let's just say for April, we did about 1,500 in sales. And those are sales only to estheticians. So again, we haven't released it out to the public. That's only to the estheticians for them to try, for them to use. What is projected for the year for 2022? What do I feel? Yeah, I feel really strong. I'm pretty decent in sales and marketing in terms of getting it out there. I have a group of women, 19,500 plus, at least a quarter of them will help me sell these. And so this year, I feel I can do at least 100,000 for 2022. I can get about 100 grand in Nogees out there, hopefully more. But I like to give you a small number. So if it's bigger, then we can blast it out of the park. I invested a whopping $25,000 so far into this business. Okay, the Nogee means a lot to me, and I damaged my skin, right? Like there's times where my skin was so thin, I would push it with my finger and it would bleed because I overstripped. I didn't know what I was doing. I did the best I could with what I knew, which was very little. And so this means a lot to me, not just for the business aspect of it. Of course, I want to do well for myself, but more importantly, I want to do well for myself by doing good for the community, doing good for the people that are being, I feel, taken advantage of by falling in the traps of these advertisements and marketing and using these tools and things that promise them the world, but actually do more harm than good. There's so much bad information out there, and these consumers are handing their hard-earned money over just to get these horrific results. What's something interesting about me? I run a Facebook group with 19,500 estheticians. I didn't know what an esthetician was a year and a half ago. So to me, that's just bizarre that I do that, but I just fell in love with the community. I had a good knack of sales and marketing that a lot of estheticians were missing. So I just created this partnership, and through that, a year and a half of just being and living in that beauty space, I've picked up so much information. So my estheticians, those gals are the world to me, and I just appreciate them so much. And I want to work with them just like I want to work with Sharktank to be able to create a wonderful relationship where everybody wins. My big challenge so far is it's just probably going to be getting the word out, right? It's like before this was a hobby, I can take this very far.